So let's move to a question that received some attention today on the floor of the House, and that is the reimbursement of the unemployment compensation fund drawn down, understandably so, because of the pandemic. The deadline, or at least a practical deadline that administrative representatives have pointed to for getting this task completed is probably March 15. We did have a floor on the vote in the House. There are differing perspectives on exactly how to handle this. Let's start with you, Representative Schultz. Tell our viewers a little bit about the issue and your perspective on it.
Sure. So we did have a short discussion on the floor of the House today. You know, we have a not close to a $9.3 billion surplus. So the DFL team, we want to help businesses, but we also want to help families who are really struggling right now. And with this amount of surplus, I think we can do both things. So we can both help small businesses with the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund, and we should be able to help families with the affordability of housing and food and paid time off, all of the things that working Minnesotans are asking for. And I don't think that March 15th is the true deadline. I believe we have until April 30th is when those taxes would come due. And the Senate proposal for repaying the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund really benefits large corporations more than smaller corporations. So I think we need to decide how we want to allocate state funds and who we want those funds to go to. For example, Amazon, under the Senate proposal, will get close to $2.6 million. Target would get over $11 million. And small businesses, if they only have a few employees, it's about $367 per employee. So do we want to allocate more money to the small businesses? The large corporations may not need as much assistance. So we need to have those types of discussions. And I think we are ready to negotiate and send a bill to the governor as long as we're also helping working families in Minnesota.
Representative Rasmusson, your thoughts on the reimbursement to the unemployment fund and the discussion that took place on the floor today.
Thank you, Justice Anderson. I was disappointed to see that we weren't able to move forward today in the House with replenishing the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund. This is one of these rare issues where we actually have a lot of bipartisan support. This passed the Senate with a veto-proof majority with support from Senate Democrats, Senate Republicans. Governor Walz has come out and said that he supports this proposal that we were pushing for today. And so it's really, just the House leadership, House Democrats that's holding this up as we look at the March 15th deadline. And for the folks in Otter Tail County, they're really concerned about inflation, the costs of goods and services going up. And this tax increase on Minnesota employers is going to get passed on to consumers. It's going to get passed on to employees. And so I think we have to have a sense of urgency. And I hope that we're able to get this done before the deadline this Tuesday, because we've heard from the administration and Commissioner Grove and his team that if we don't do it by the 15th, it'll be incredibly difficult for their agency to actually avoid these notices from going out and this tax increase from affecting all types of employers here in the state of Minnesota.
Senator Hoffman.
Did you guys get a chance? I mean, you look at and it's interesting to hear that. I wasn't watching the House or the other body because we can't, right, Jeff? We can't use the name of the House when we're on the Senate floor, right? We have to, and see Howe he's House trained, so that's the other one that's pretty funny. At least somebody's got to laugh at that.
It's a true statement, but I'm not house broke. I'm house trained.
That's it. So, I remember there was a couple of contentions, and I don't know if Jennifer and Jordan, you want to address this. That was the $250 million in bonuses that was embedded in the Senate, and we tried to get it up to $1 billion. There were some folks that want to do $1 billion, and the other statement, I remember Eric Pratt on the floor said that the deficit wasn't caused by the employers, right? Every dollar that was paid out the unemployment system went to the Minnesota workers, and so there's this piece of who has what in the game, so to speak, right? And so did you at all talk about maybe upping that bonus to $1 billion just so we could take care of the frontline workers and we can take care of those folks that were in the trenches working at the time? Jennifer, you're shaking your head yes. And
Yeah,
so
we have a bill. This is House File 2900 that would give $1,500 bonus payments to our frontline workers. That's over 600,000 workers. And that bill would be we're proposing $1 billion. So we would like to fund that. We want that to be part of this deal, to get bonuses to those who work so hard during the pandemic. We also want to fix an injustice in the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund. Currently, those working as bus drivers, cafeteria staff, and others aren't eligible for unemployment compensation. And so House File 1035 would help fix that issue, especially in these professions where we need to attract more workers. That would be a $1.2 billion spend.
and you included paraprofessionals in that conversation. And sorry, Jared.
I believe they're
Barry.
included in that category. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's the disconnect there, Barry, right? The Senate, it was 55-11, and it was a pretty much the 250 million in bonuses, and then the 2.7 billion, I think, or
2.7
right?
billion in UI. Yep.
Yeah. So,
But they're totally separate issues in our book,
correct. And that's the point. The point of contention is there's two separate issues there, and I don't know, is it worth separating? I don't know.
So, Representative Rasmusson, let me go back and get your reaction to the difference in the two House bills, and then I want to go to Senator Howe, and he can explain maybe a little bit in greater detail the business about it being two separate bills and so forth. But why don't we give you another moment here to kind of talk a little bit about some of these issues, because with the frontline workers and so forth, and how that relates to the unemployment fund issues.
Yeah, the motion that we made on the floor today was to bring forward the bill that had already passed the Senate with that wide bipartisan margin that Senator Hoffman talked about. It has support from Governor Walz. And for us, I don't think we should take Minnesota employers and small businesses hostage to other things that we can still continue to work on throughout the legislative session. We're facing a real deadline on this Tuesday to get this unemployment insurance trust fund replenished. Otherwise, essentially every employer in the state of Minnesota is going to be getting a tax increase at a time when we have a $9.3 billion surplus. And I just don't think that'll make sense to Minnesotans if we go through that deadline without replenishing that unemployment insurance trust fund.
So just so that I'm clear on this, then, with the one bill in the House, supported by the Democrats, has both of these things in it, dealing with frontline workers and the refunding or reimbursing the House or the unemployment fund. And the Senate bill did not have anything in it for frontline workers.
I don't believe the House bill that maybe the House bill they talked about today had it all in. I'm not quite sure, but the House proposal that we have heard did not fully replenish the UI bill. And I think they only had $1 billion in it.
Okay.
I think they had $1 billion for UI and $1 billion for frontline workers. And the thing is we passed that UI bill almost a month ago. And what people don't understand, a lot of that unemployment money that was paid out was borrowed from the federal government. And right now, today, we continue to pay somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000 a day in interest that we're going to owe federal government. And that's another reason why it's important to get this thing done. It's almost been a month of $50,000 a day interest on that money that we're wasting. And we could have paid this off a month ago and saved that interest that we owe to the federal government. And but that Representative Rasmusson was exactly right. Every employer is going to get this increase. And if you think this increase is going to hurt them, it is going to hurt businesses, but these businesses are just going to have to raise their prices And that money and that cost is going to go right down to every Minnesotan that's buying anything. And that's the issue that we're faced with. Is we're faced with a lot of inflation right now. This is just going to compound that problem. So, what we said on the Senate floor today is that we're open to looking at how do we get this big surplus we got to do the maximum benefit for most Minnesotans. And let's lay it all out on the table and get it done. But this UI has got to be done and should be a separate conversation compared to what we do with the rest of this money, and trying to get the most benefit we can for all Minnesotans to help them through this troubled times when we've got this large surplus that needs to go back to the people.